hope everyone had a fantastic summer and we are getting right back into that grind now. My name is Charlie. Welcome if you are new here. Welcome back if you are not. I'm going to be your host for today's bullet journal September spread. Although, there's probably thousands of other bullet journalers out there that are posting their videos today or this week. So, but I'm the host of this bullet journal channel, and today we are going to do some dark academia bullet journaling. And I am so excited for this spread because my friend inspired me when I made her a custom-made bullet journal. She asked for a dark academia theme and I complied, and I loved it so much that I knew I just had to have my own. So here we have it, the Dark Academia spread of September, and I even pulled out my quill and ink for this because we are going to do some old school bullet journaling, and I had lots of fun because the collaging that I did in this spread was right up my alley, and the pieces I used you can literally get anywhere. If you have some old pieces of paper lying around, coffee dye them, tea stain them, rub them in some dirt. Actually, maybe don't do that unless it's like clean dirt, but even then make sure all the dirt's gone, and stick them onto your bullet journal because why not? And it's interesting to look at because if I'm going to be suffering through getting back into work life, then I would like to have something pretty to look at and come home to whenever I need to look at my agenda. So that is what we are doing for today. The cover spread is truly simple. I'm just using some black ink to outline the title first because the title is actually what I'm basing this spread around. I love the idea of having a title on the side like a banner because I've been experimenting with banners in previous videos, and I realized that most of my titles have the same layout. Like my titles are normally on the middle of the page or the bottom of the page, but never on the side of the page like I am writing September right now. So I really like it. I realized halfway through though that I was bending awkwardly to the side of my page, so I kind of wrote my title unevenly, but alas, I don't think it took away from the spread as a whole, which means that it's okay. And then I took out some printables that I found on Pinterest, just some journaling inspiration for me to use in my journal, and I pulled out some tags as well because on the page where I wrote September, I don't think a huge collage would be sufficient. Like, I think it would be too busy, so I think having a tag would be the perfect kind of centerpiece. And on the other side, I am making room for my quotes page. Oh, and I just wanted to point out that kind of outlining that I did earlier on in this video was just like a jot notes page. Because it is the start of my work, I do want to make sure that I have enough space to write down all the notes that I need, which is why I have a 2-page spread of just blankness. However, the ink that I was using did bleed through a little bit, but nothing that would hinder my sketching and note-taking, so it doesn't really matter, but just a caution to always make sure that your paper does not bleed. And even though I have my tester at the very back of this notepad, I didn't look at it, so that's always fun. Anyway, so here is my quote. I think it is a quote that everyone should live by. I love it. And I think it went very nicely with the idea of a dark academia vibe, with thinking about future careers, looking forward to your future. So yeah, props to Gandhi. And yeah, I am really happy about this spread. While it isn't unique, it is different from the spread that I made originally, but because I kind of knew what I wanted to do already, I can't say that anything that I did in this bullet journal spread was a surprise to me, but I enjoyed myself. And next I'm doing a couple different collages, trying to figure out what fits on my cover and how to lay it out. And then I'm going to move on to my monthly spread. Now, normally my calendar spread is my favorite spread of them all, but I have to say every single other spread in this month overshadowed the calendar spread. This double page could have benefited from more colors. I love the stenciling that I did. These stencils are from my local dollar store, and they were actually stickers. So the blue is the sticker, and as you can see, there is not a lot of blue, and that is because I have stuck the stickers on a reusable backing that is less flimsy and more easily accessible for something like paint. And then I am using the sticker paper, which is very flimsy, to actually stencil. So I actually had to hold down this paper while I was coloring in, which made it a little more difficult than usual, but I like it a lot. And this is most of the coloring that I did for this spread. If I was talking about minimalism, this was minimalism for me at its finest, and I think it is probably the most ugliest spread of them all that I have done. Now, this stamp that I am using is a very old stamp of mine. I love it, but I totally forgot about the crease in the notepad, which seems funny because it's staring right back at me, but I didn't really add it into my thought process when I decided to use the stamps because it prevented me from stamping as hard as I could. So I had to restamp my September spread, and then I was also extremely worried about fitting in my 5 rows of calendars. So I kind of bunched it all up in the top and made it overcrowded, which is another regret. But actually, despite all my complaints, at the end of the day, I do really like how the monthly spread turned out as a whole. And, you know, you can't love every spread. And I think it's about time that I hated one of my calendar spreads, because I haven't said I hated my calendar spread since, I don't know, before last year, not on YouTube. So yeah, this is how it is, and then I decided that I would do some inking again, and I'm keeping the inking to minimal, hoping that from now on I won't have any bleeding, which worked perfectly until I smudged the ink with my hand accidentally because I lack the ability to wait. And of course, I have my lovely drop shadow, because you can't have an academia bullet journal spread without a drop shadow somewhere. And I think this also helped tie the simple spread together. However, I am not done this spread. Even though I turn the page and move on to the weekly spread after this, I do go back. This is one of those bullet journals where I kind of jump around because I'm not sure what I want. So until I figure out what I want, I just move on, which helps me kind of continue on with my life and not spend more time than I need to on this. And then for this spread, I just did a simple collage. The narrative collection is really nice. I don't know what I think it's Korean, words say on the front. It was from a package of ephemera that I bought, and I thought it looked really nice as just decorative ephemera. And then I carried on to do my second weekly spread because I thought, why not? But I just had so much fun collaging, and it's right up my alley, so I couldn't resist. And I had this burnt playing card that I added, so even if it's not like totally dark academia, it really suited the spread, and I really like how it turned out. Very simple once again, but very effective. And then I stamped on both spreads the days of the week, and I tried my best just to make sure I had enough space to write the title in very plain lettering. I didn't want to do anything too thick with my ink after it bled, because if weekly spreads bleed onto the page before and after, then it does get really distracting, because the weekly spreads are the pages that I use the most in my bullet journal, and for good reason too. So yeah, this is how it is. Then of course I had to just write in the dates because that's also important. Once upon a time, I tried doing a bullet journal spread where I only listed one, aka just the title or just the number, and I got so confused. I think that entire month was a mess, and I don't even remember what month it was. I think it was sometime last year, and yeah, huge mess. And now you can see that I am going back into the calendar spread to write the days of the week, and then I decided to add some color so that I could differentiate between the days of the week and the title of the month. And then I decided to do the same thing on the weekly spreads, and I actually believe that this tied the entire month together. And that is the end of the video. I really enjoyed myself for making this video. I love the theme so much. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. I'll see you all next time. Bye!